What did you see?
What did you say? So bad.
It is.
But that's not the cowboy.
Wow. Thomas, give me a wave. Here's the window. Oh! Good morning. It is 5 to 8 on Wednesday morning. I have been up since 5:45. I got up with Andy this morning because there's a lot I wanted to get done today. It is midweek. Now, I have just been away for 2 days with my brother, sister-in-law and the kids. Matt has booked Tara like a little getaway for the week. It is her 30th on Friday, so people are dipping in and out all week. So me and Andy went up on Monday, we stayed overnight, and then we came home yesterday after tea. My parents went up yesterday afternoon and we went out for tea together, and they went home last night because they couldn't leave Denver on his own overnight. And she's got a couple of other people going up later on in the week and over the weekend. So they're up there and we had a glorious time. It was really, really nice. It felt like we were there longer than just the evening, but at the same time it didn't feel long enough. Like, had Andy been on his Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off this week, we probably would have gone Tuesday night and come home Friday evening, just to get the most out of it. But it was really nice, very nice break, and we had a really good time. Andy has now passed his test, so I am now part of the Passenger Princess crew. He passed on Friday last week. He got a car on Saturday, and then Monday we did that trip. We went to Carlisle, so it's not around the corner, it's like 2 hours. We went to Carlisle. He did the whole journey himself, and then last night he drove all the way back himself as well. And I'm really proud of him, very, very proud of him. Very happy that he's got a car and he's now got his own independence, and I'm really, really proud of him. So despite the fact I didn't need to drop him off at work this morning, I still got up with him this morning because I wanted to get on with some work. I'm feeling really, really behind on my work. There's been so much going on the last few weeks that I feel like I've just about been managing to get content out, but I haven't felt like I'm ahead at any point or I'm actually on time at any point. So I've gotten up this morning, I've got ready, I've seen him off to work, and then I've just filmed my June haul which is going to go up today. Tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to film anything else today. I don't want to exhaust myself because I'm actually going to do a 72-hour readathon. Well, it's going to be like 48 hours with my patrons, but I'm going to extend it into Friday as well. So today, tomorrow and Friday, while Andy's at work and my brother and sister-in-law are away, so I can't go to work, I'm just thought I want to get on top of some reading, get on top of some work. There are little bits of admin that I can do while listening to audiobooks, things like that. And I will film another video tomorrow for Sunday, and this will be then Wednesday's video for the following week. So I'm just wanting to get back on top of my shit a little bit with videos and content and stuff like that. I'm planning like Instagram content and things like that. So just trying to get on top of myself a little bit. For the next couple of days I might get up with him when he gets up for work, so that I can get a whole bunch of work done before I actually get on with my day, like, you know, at a reasonable hour. So I'm getting my nails done at 9:30 this morning, so around about just before 9 o'clock I will set off to go and get those done, which will be nice because they need doing. It's about time. So I wanted to start this vlog, explain to you what the next bunch of B-roll will be, which will be from the trip, going up to Carlisle, sometime in Carlisle, and then coming back. It's going to be a whole bunch of B-roll. I don't think there's going to be any talking in it. And then we will get into the vlog portion over the next few days of this like 72-hour readathon. So it's going to be a 72-hour readathon essentially, but with some B-roll of what's happened over the last couple of days, just to explain what's been going on, which I'm really looking forward to. Now, you may, I haven't decided where that will go in this vlog yet. You may or you may have not already seen a stack of books. I might put it in at the beginning. A stack of books that I'm intrigued about reading over the next 72 hours. There is no fucking way on this planet that I am going to read all of those. But I've decided to do like a mood reading vlog. It won't turn into a themed vlog actually. I'm very much so in the mood for romantasy right now. Really in the mood for romantasy, but I am also trying to prioritise some other books that I really probably should get to, but I am still in the mood to read. So there is a big stack though that I can reach for, and I am intrigued about reading all of those. So I've dragged those off my shelves. They're the ones that I'm most excited about reading at the moment. I am currently though, I have started Mixed Signals by B.K. Borison. I started this last night. I got to page 52. I've stopped in the middle of a chapter because I was so fucking tired. So my intention is to try and finish this today and then get started on Business Casual as well. The official release date for that is tomorrow, but the audiobook has now come out. So that's my intention today, is Mixed Signals and Business Casual. We'll see how that goes, reading those back to back, but I am very interested in both of them. This one is the summer book within this series. If you didn't know, B.K. Borison does seasonal books. At least they have for the Love Like Farms series. So Love Like Farms was the first, and that is the winter book. Then we had In the Weeds, which was spring, Mixed Signals is summer, and Business Casual is autumn. And I'm really excited because I loved Love Like Farms, gave it 5 stars. In the Weeds got 4.5, and I'm really intrigued by this one so far. So it's a bashful man who can rock a Hawaiian shirt, a hopeful and dreamy bakery owner, enough sweets to give you a cavity, and your favourite Inglewood resident. So we're following Layla and also Caleb. So far, Layla was on a date in the beginning of this book, and this guy was a complete fucking douchebag. He was basically going on about the fact that her photos didn't do her justice. She's way more, you know, she's way more hot in person. I suppose being a bakery, you know, working in a bakery, you know, means that you end up filling out in all the right places. Oh, he was an absolute douchebag. He made me want to vomit in my mouth. She went to go and pay and he fucked off. So anyway, while she was paying, Caleb came up to the bar in this Hawaiian shirt. He was clearly out with his brothers. He's a local in her bakery, so she knows him. But all of a sudden, she sees him with heart eye emojis. She's never seen him like that before. She has this rule about not dating Inglewood residents. for reasons, and basically she starts to see him as something else, and they end up, he gives her a lift home, she explains what's happened on her date, he gives her a lift home, and she then have this conversation in the car. He's going on about the fact that he always struggles with dating, she's going on about the fact that she struggles with dating. He's mentioned that people have mentioned to him that he's too nice, he's too soft, things like that, and then he suggests, well, why don't we date each other? Just go out on a couple of dates and we can let the other one know what's going wrong with what's happening. So she kind of, I think, semi-agrees, and he's like, all right, I'll see you on Monday morning when I come into the cafe. And then he doesn't show, and she thinks he's now avoiding her, and he's not. He's just had a plethora of things going on that have meant he hasn't been able to make it to the bakery. So that's the point at which I'm up to. I think it's going to be fake dating, but I also think that it's going to be like friends to lovers, which I love. So my two favourite tropes. I'm very excited about continuing on with this one. So this is going to be my first, well, the first book that I'm reading, but I'm also reading this manga that was sent to me by Yen Press. It comes out on the 23rd of July, and it's called Aria of the Beach Forest, Volume 1. And this one is following a little witch who lives, you know, off the beaten track in the forest, and one day she comes across this wolf outside of her home who is a talking wolf and asks if there's any chance that they can stay for a while. So she's like, yeah, of course you can, of course you can, love. So she lets the fox stay, actually through winter to start off with, but it turns out he's now staying for a while. He, she, it is staying for a while, and the fox is freaking adorable, and I'm obsessed. And I don't know where it's going to go from there. The mysterious beast not only talks, but also, to her surprise, asks to live with her. Could this be the start of a big change for the small, lonely witch? I'm really excited. I have some theories about this fox, though. Not fox, a wolf. It's a wolf. I have some theories about this wolf. So yeah, but so far, adorable, really enjoying myself. Shout out to Yen Press for sending me this. I truly appreciate it. I already want volume 2 and I haven't finished this yet. So that is something else that I'm planning on reading, which is why this vlog will not end up being themed. I thought it might end up being romantic-y themed, but it will not, because we have contemporary romance and we also have a fantasy, cozy fantasy manga. So there is also, you know, like a, in the start, Crucible of Chaos. I would really like to get to that by Sebastian de Castell, but I don't know. I might end up prioritising some romance instead, because that's what I'm in the mood for. I am in the mood for Sebastian de Castell. I'm very much so in the mood for Joe Jameson. But we'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted. I will just let you know every time I pick a book up exactly what it is. I also wanted to mention that I did read Your Letter, which is one of the other books that came from Yen Press as well, last week. And this one also comes out on the 23rd of July. Very quickly, I wanted to let you know my review on this because I read it outside of a vlog. This happens on occasion, not very often because I'm usually weekly vlogging, so I'm usually at least like vlogging all the time. But the last 5 days or so I haven't vlogged anything. Since Summerween ended and until today, I haven't vlogged a bean. So there's been a book, one book that I've read, and it was this one. So we're following Sori Lee, who ends up going to a new school. She basically stands up for a kid that's being bullied at her old school. It was like a prestigious private school. She stands up for this kid being bullied. They then went on summer holidays and the kid that was being bullied has transferred, and now she's panicking, thinking, shit, I'm going to be the next target. I can't deal with this. So she ends up going back to a normal public school, and she starts then her new term there. She's concerned that she may get bullied at this public school because she went to a private school and now she's going to a public school and she's different on that basis. But it turns out the people are actually quite nice to her. And then she finds this envelope underneath her desk one day that kind of sends her on this little adventure around the school and a little bit of a scavenger hunt, and it's really, really cute, and I really enjoyed this. It was so lovely. The illustrations were beautiful. I thought that the plot of the story was really, really good, and I just really enjoyed myself. I thought it was very, very heartwarming, and I haven't run it through Corpow yet, but I reckon it's going to get about a 4-star. But I hadn't realised until I started reading that there is like this pull out. So this is the cover, obviously. This matches the cover, and then on the flip side It's one of the places she ends up in on the scavenger hunt, and it was just really, really cute. I don't know if this is a standalone or if there's going to be any more, but I really enjoyed it. It was very, very good. So again, shout out to Empress for sending me this one. So I'm going to get on with editing. I've got about an hour before I need to leave to go and get my nails done, so I'm going to try and edit this haul, see if I can get that leave it exporting while I go and get my nails done, so that that is done and dusted, and when I get back I can concentrate on reading. I think that's going to be my plan. So I will check back in with you probably when I've got my nails done, let you know what I got on my nails. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to get done, but I will keep you posted and let you know. Alright, a few hours have passed. It's 20 to 1, my sprint is starting in 20 minutes. I've just gotten back, I went to get my nails done, I didn't have a plan, and this is what we've ended up with. I love them. Sally went to town, so I love them. Shout out to my nail tech, she is awesome. I had to nip to the flat to pick something up, Andy's old flat. If you didn't know, my parents own the flat, so I can get in and out. Had to nip there because his internet box was still there and he has to send it back. So I've nipped in to pick that up while I was in West Orton. I've delivered some parcels that I've sold on Vinted, some books, and also some Etsy stuff as well. I've picked up some lunch, a Morrison salad, some fruit. So productive morning so far. I have 10 minutes of my video left to edit, so I'm going to finish that off in the first sprint, I think. And I've just had these delivered, and my book may change that I'm going to start this readathon off with, because obviously, I mean, I have started Mixed Signals, but I'm only 50 odd pages in, and I can pick that back up anytime. But I don't know what this is, so we're going to open it and find out. Wait, is this from... How many of these did they want to get? Oh, fair enough. Right, okay, this has been sent to me by Del Rey, and it is a cowboy romance called Holding the Reins. He is a dark horse, but can she tame him, by Paisley Hope. It sounds really good, and I'm very intrigued by it. I forgot that I was getting this. This comes out on the 15th of August, so I've got some time before I need to read this one. But that's exciting. Shout out to Del Rey for sending me that one. I'm not going to pick that up today. There is another book in one of these parcels that I am excited about, though, that I forgot was coming. So thank you to Del Rey for sending me that one. I truly appreciate it. Just on my haul today as well. It is what it is. Not going to worry about it, that can go in my next haul. So it has been Amazon Prime Day, so I always keep an eye on the books that I'm interested in to see if they come down in price. We did get a Ring doorbell though, and a couple of other bits that we needed for the house that have gone on sale, so yay for that. But one of the books that I did get was the Kamigawa Food Detectives by Hisashi Kashiwai, which is the first in a series. I have a finished copy of the second one, and I would like to read the first one first. So obviously that makes way more sense. So there's a possibility I might pick this up in this readathon because it's small and it's going to be a quick read. This is a heartwarming novel that celebrates the power of a delicious meal. I love me a good book that involves food. So I may pick that up in this vlog, we'll see. I will add it to the pile of possibilities for the vlog. But the book that I forgot was coming, that I am very excited about, that I ended up ordering a copy of. I haven't read it. On Kindle Unlimited. I said I was going to stop doing this, but I can't help myself. I'm obsessed with the cover and I think I'm going to love it. It's The Ever King by L.J. Andrews. This cover is stunning and I'm obsessed. It's really pretty. So I just really needed a physical copy of it. Did I? Not really, no. I just really wanted a physical copy of it. So I think I'm going to read this. This is what I want to pick up first. Just have a quick look at my... Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think I want to pick this up, so we're going to give this a bash. The Ever King, they stole his crown, so he stole their daughter. For years, Eric, the scarred king of the Ever Kingdom, has thought of nothing but vengeance against the man who killed his father and trapped him beneath the waves, making Eric a prisoner in his own realm. When his enemy's daughter unwittingly breaks the chains on the Ever, and Eric plans to toss her into his game of revenge. She's innocent, he's vicious, but he will take back what he lost no matter the price, unless she steals his heart first. I, for some reason, thought that this was like a Viking story. I don't know if that's true, or if I have gotten myself a little bit mixed up with that, but I will find out, I suppose. So yeah, I wanted to give this a bash. What is that darker page there? This is why I love getting physical copies of indie books. What? Only other author that I know that does this that isn't self or indie published is J. Christoph. Stunning! I'm obsessed. Nice. Okay, so it sounds like it's on a pirate, and there is a map on a pirate. Sorry, it's a pirate themed, you know. Oh, stop it. That's beautiful. A man he's not, we work, we rot. No sleep until it's through, a sailor's grave is all we cave. We are the Ever King's crew. Sign me up. Right, okay, so I think this is what I'm going to read first. It is long. Actually, it's not that long, it's under 400 pages, but I think the audiobook's relatively long, so we are going to audiobook this. But yeah, those are the 3 books that have come in. 2 I ordered, 1 was gifted. Thank you again to Del Rey for the cowboy one. Right, I'm going to go because the intro was long anyway, and now this clip has ended up long. I'm going to start my lunch. I'm going to get ready for sprints. I'm going to continue editing this video. Oh, I also got some more Crocs. I got some purple ones. Oh, because my other 2 have the fur inside them and they're lined. But I wanted some normal ones, you know, so I can do the cleaning, or, you know, if I go on holiday, I can take these instead of flip-flops. I fucking hate flip-flops. I don't know what it is about flip-flops, but I can't stand them. So I feel like these will be better like round the pool, do you know what I mean, to put on your feet so you protect your feet or whatever. So I got some lilac ones. I've been wanting to get them for ages. I wanted to see if they would come down in the Prime sale. They haven't really, so I've just ended up buying them. But I think what I'm going to do is put my charms on here from my white Crocs, and then take my white Crocs to my brother's, so that I've got some shoes to wear at work, because otherwise I either end up barefoot, which I hate. I hate not having anything on my feet. Socks is fine, but even that is a limit. Like, I need to have something else on my feet, some form of shoe on my feet. So I either end up with no shoes on and just my socks, or I end up with my shoes on all day. So I'm going to take my white ones, I think, to my brother's, and take the charms off and put them on here, because I want them on here. So yeah, that's going to be my plan anyway.
I don't want to let you down. It's the only thing I think about every morning. You know my life ain't figured out, but I promise if you stick around it'll never get boring. We'll spend nights, cheap red wine, look at flats even though we can't afford them. I don't wanna let you down, I don't wanna lose you now. Will you stay even when you wanna walk away? When times get bad, we can learn to love what we have. I don't wanna let you down, I don't wanna let you down, I don't wanna let you down, I don't wanna mess around. You're the only one I want there at the end of my story. It's the only thing I figured out, 'cause everything else in my life without you would be boring. And we'll spend nights, cheap red wine, look at flats even though we can't afford them. I don't wanna let you down, I don't wanna lose you now.
Okay, good morning. It's 8:50 on Thursday. I did not update you again yesterday. To be fair, my introduction was really long, then I came back and did that unboxing, so it is what it is. I do have a couple of updates for you. I finished a book. One of the updates is not great news. And I started another book. So, I finished Aria of the Beach Forest Struggles. Aria of the Beach Forest Volume 1, which was sent to me by Yen Press. This comes out on the 23rd of July. And I would highly recommend this. This was absolutely adorable. It follows Aria, who is this little witch that lives in the forest. She's very isolated. She doesn't go out to the public world, and she's actually got like a little bit of a barrier that surrounds her, and people can't find her on that basis. Then one day she spots this wolf lying outside that she actually thinks is dead initially, and it turns out the wolf is not dead. Turns out the wolf can speak, it's alive, the wolf can speak, and it asks if there's any chance the wolf can stay at hers for winter. So Arya says yes, and then winter comes and goes, and the wolf asks can it stay longer, and Arya says yes again. And it's just the story of them two kind of living their lives, but I think there is something going on with this wolf and Arya, and why the wolf is there and why it's with Arya, and something to do with her grandma. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's absolutely adorable, and I loved this. This was so sweet. So I think it's probably going to get like a 4-star. It was very cute. The illustrations were really sweet. Maybe a 4.5. Haven't run it through Corpile. Once at the end of the vlog, obviously I'll run through and let you know my full thoughts on this. Well, my full rating on it. Just give you my full thoughts. Very cute indeed. Thank you to Empress for sending me that one. The Ever King by L.G. Andrews. I am halfway through this. I'm on page 198. And this is following our main character, who's called Livia, and we're also following Eric, who's a pirate. Now, when Livia and Eric, well, when Livia was younger, she was talking with a prisoner, and he gave her something to look after. This happens in the first chapter. He gave her something to look after, and then he said he would come back for her, and he never did. Many moons have passed now, and Eric ends up kidnapping Livia, and it turns out he was the boy that she was talking to back then. And he wants something from her that he gave her back then. She can't give it him back for reasons. So he's kidnapped her. He's trying to punish her dad because her dad killed his dad and trapped him beneath the waves. So Eric is now trying to punish this man because he wants to get his dad back. I don't know. So yeah, something like that is going on. What I will say about this is, I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. Okay, there's a series before this series that apparently is set in the same world that is before this series. It's a 6-book series. I had no idea about this until I started going through the reviews. And it says on Amazon, it also says literally on Goodreads that you can read this without having read that series. I call bullshit on that, and it fucking annoys me when authors tell you that you can do that, because when you can't. I call bullshit. This has got no world building in it. None. I don't know this world at all. We are dumped into this world, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what any of this means. I don't know this world at all. I am not familiar with it. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why we're here, and I don't understand. And I'm very lost. And because I'm trying to figure that out, and it's only since I've started reading reviews of other people saying I've got into this book because I was told that I could without reading the first series, it turns out that's not the case, that I've suddenly gone, shit, I have to read the first series. And Cece has just confirmed it as well on Discord. So I'm fucking annoyed at the author for lying about that. That's annoying. And yeah, I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. I don't know this world. I don't get it. The Livia is a little bit boring. I'm not gonna lie, she's a little bit boring, and I don't have the hots for Eric in the slightest. So I don't ship these two. But I don't ship these two. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't know if it's just because I'm salty about the fact that there's a lot of puns going on here. Salty, it's the sea. I don't know if it's just because I'm salty about the fact that I have been told that I can go into this without having read the previous series, and yet that is not the truth, and now I'm mad because I don't know what's going on. Or if I just genuinely hate this whole thing. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm DNFing this. I don't know if this is going to be a soft DNF or a permanent DNF. This will probably sit on my shelves for a while until I make a decision about whether or not to read the first series first. What annoys me is that first series is 6 books long. So I'm just really mad about it. I'm really mad. I thought I was really going to love this. Like, it came in yesterday. I had this whole stack of other books that I was really excited for. It came in yesterday. I was really stoked. I was like, fuck all of those other books. I'm going to pick this one up. And now I'm annoyed about the whole thing. I'm really annoyed about it. So yeah, I'm going to put that down. Oh, fucking hell. So annoying. But I did last night decide to start The Kamigawa Food Detectives by Hisashi Kashiwai. And I read the first chapter of this. This was really sweet. I got to page 37. We are following a father-daughter duo who are the Kamigawa family. And they own this little, like, cafe thing, restaurant. And they started advertising their services as food detectives, in which they are capable of recreating a dish from their customers' pasts that may well hold the key to unlocking forgotten memories and ongoing happiness. I don't know if each chapter is going to follow a different character. So in the first chapter, we were following this guy called Haiji, if I remember correctly, and listen to the audiobook. Haiji, and he used to work with the father of this father-daughter duo, Nagare, and his daughter is called Koshi, and he used to work with Nagare, who was a cop, the same as Haiji. Haiji's like 60 years old now. Both Haiji and Nagare have lost their wives. And yeah, it was just really sweet. It was like catching up with old friends, and it was really sweet. And I'm wondering if we're going to follow different characters for each chapter, and I just think that's really cute, and I'm so far really enjoying it. There is also a kitty in here. very cute. Has made a couple of cameos. So yeah, I'm enjoying this one so far, so I will continue reading this throughout the readathon. But I now need to move on to another book. So I just feel like I'm really struggling, and it's so ridiculous because I'm getting 4 and 4.5 star reads, but I'm just feeling like my reads are not fantastic at the moment. You know, I've seen a few people this year really struggling with getting 5-star reads, and I haven't had that problem yet this year until the last like month and a half. Because my last 5-star read was a graphic novel, and it was Hollow. And before that, back to back, I had 3 5-star reads. 2 of them were rereads, which was The Wicked King and Top Secret. So in the whole of June, I had 3 5-star reads. 1 of them was a graphic novel, 2 of them were rereads. So I haven't had a like new novel 5-star read since May, and I don't know, I feel like it's just getting to me a little bit. I feel like I'm pretty good with knowing my reading taste, and I've always said this because I do rate a lot of books 5-star reads, and I think it's because I do know my taste very well, but I'm starting to question that. Because I'm like, what am I doing? What am I picking up? Why do I not like anything? Am I in a mood? What's up with me? So, and I don't know what to do. I'm a little bit stuck. Like, I have a lot of options. I am still in a romantasy mood. I would like to pick up a romantasy and have a romantasy like blow my mind. I do have Crucible of Chaos by Sebastian D. Castell, which I think would guarantee me a 5-star, but I am worried that if it's me that's the problem, I'm going to ruin that book for myself, so I kind of don't want to pick that up right now. I do have a couple of thrillers that I could pick up. Rules for Vanishing by Kate Alice Marshall, Signed Sealed Dead by Cynthia Murphy. Maybe I'll pick one of these up tomorrow if today is not a good day again. I was going to film this morning, but I've ended up not getting up with Andy this morning. Well, I did for half an hour and then got back in bed because I was absolutely shattered. So I think I'm going to get up with him tomorrow and film tomorrow morning instead. So I'm going to leave it today and just read today, because I really do want to get some books in. But then I have like a stack of special editions that I could get to, subscription box books that I could. I'm thinking I'm going to try a chapter of all of these books and then make a decision that way, I think. And try and do it that way. So I've got The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind, which just came in from Fairloot Romantasy box. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Then I do have A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal, which is the Waterstones edition. I bought this secondhand on Vinted, and this is vampires and there's a heist, I believe, as well. Don't know anything about it other than that. but it is YA. So that's why I'm not just picking that up, even though I am very excited about it. I'm not just picking that up because I am nervous that it's YA. I've got The God and the Gummy Hoe by Sophie Kim, which I'm really looking forward to. Don't know anything about this. He's a fallen god, she's a shape-shifting fox. They'll do anything to outsmart each other, anything except fall in love. Sounds absolutely adorable, and I'm very, very excited about this, and I have been since it came in and read the synopsis and saw the book. So it's this, honestly, that makes me really, really excited. I just think it's such a beautiful book, so I am very excited about that one. And then we've got Nectar of the Wicked by Ella Fields, which is a one of the other romanticy books, sorry, from Verily Romanticy, and I think it's Fae. Yeah, beware the Fae and never trust them with your heart. And there is a fox in this one again as well, like Arya of the Beech Forest. So I think I'm going to try a chapter of all of these and see what happens. I reckon The God and the Gummy Hoe's got really short chapters as well, which makes me, or is it the Wren Hunt? I think they both have relatively short chapters, makes me very excited. This one is the longest one. So I think I'm just going to try a chapter of each of these and make a decision on what to read next that way. See what catches my attention first. If nothing does immediately get my attention and go, I want to read this right now, I may resort to maybe picking up one of those thrillers instead. Maybe, we'll see. But I'll keep you posted. I should probably pick up a sequel. That's what I should probably do when I'm in this mood. I could go for Soul of a Witch by Harley LaRue, which is the last in a series. We'll see. I'll keep you posted and I'll let you know what I'm doing. Okay, find ourselves in one of those situations where I kind of want to read everything. I've given each of the first chapters a read. So the first one that I did read, it was A Tempest of Tea. I got to page 14, and we are following from the POV of Arthi, who basically runs a tea room that transforms into an illegal blood house at night, catering to the vampires. But it turns out that the tea room and its secrets are coming under threat, and she needs to lead a gang of outcasts in a high-stakes heist to the sinister vampire underworld. I think it's going to turn out that not everybody on her team is who she thinks they are, and it all goes to shit a little bit. But in the first chapter, we are following her, basically following it up on some debts from a vampire. So she's trying to get the money back from them, and she's with her brother, Jin. So we're following from her POV, and then in chapter 2, it looks like we're following from Jin's POV. So it does have multiple POVs. And I quite liked this. I liked the writing style of it. There was also a line that had me chuckling. That was it. Every good love story starts with a bullet to the heart. I just liked it, and I immediately wanted to continue on with the story. So yeah, this was a really good one, and I do want to continue on with this one. Then I went on to The Wren in the Holly Library. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and we are following our main character, Case, who is a thief, and she's gone into this library. Now, this is a world in which there are monsters, and she's hoping that this library is owned by a billionaire, but it could be owned by a monster, and she ends up getting caught by a monster. And he now is like, you need to sit down and answer some questions. But he says, are you ready to behave? And she spits on the carpet, and he goes, that is an antique. So anyway, yeah, I'm intrigued by this one massively. Also, the author's note, I'm fairly certain it was this author's note that was very funny. Yeah, this one. The author, K.A. Lind, is going on about the fact at Halloween she managed to get a bell, the gold bell dress, but she ended up not being able to wear it that year in Halloween because it was snowing in Texas, and she was livid. Well, she was able to wear it, but her mum made her put on a turtleneck underneath the dress. To this day, I've never recovered. This may or may not have been the start of my villain origin story, but that's a tale for another day. I just think the author's quite funny, and her storytelling, I really like it, so I'm very interested in reading this one. Then I went on to The God and the Gummy Hoe by Sophie Kim. This one sounds really good. Again, we've got multiple POVs in this one, I think. So chapter 2 is Hanny. Chapter 1 was just a general chapter, and chapter 2 is Sioka. I'm going to have to get the audiobook for this one to help me along, for sure. I have the audiobooks already for the other two. But this one is following Kim, who's a Scarlet Fox. She's a gummy hoe, but she works in a cafe, and she is trying not to let a certain customer irk her, which is Sioka. I don't know how to pronounce that. I will do once I get the audiobook. Who's a trickster god exiled from the heavens, spending his days hunting demons, pining for his lost home, and irking a particular gummy hoe. But a demon of darkness escapes the underworld, and the Scarlet Fox emerges from hiding before quickly vanishing. Sioka is offered a chance at redemption. Kill them both and his sins will be forgiven. But Hani is prepared to do anything to prevent Sioka from bringing her to justice, anything that is except falling in love. We start off actually with a little bit of like a prologue, I think, set in 1992, and it's following a detective going into a shop looking for some information, I think. So we didn't get much from this, but I am still very excited about picking this one up. I just like the thought of the storytelling, and it's inspired by K-pop as well, which I'm not into K-pop. I don't really know a great deal about it. Again, there's an author's note at the beginning. Oh, sorry, not K-pop, K-drama. Is nothing if not a love letter to K-drama, to the sparkling romance, vibrant fantasy, and lovable characters found in many of my all-time favourite productions. I've seen a couple K-dramas, but not many. The Business Proposal has been my favourite so far. And I just the way that, like, for example, cherry blossoms were described in this, I just kind of want to continue on with it. So yay for that one. And then Nectar of the Wicked by Ella Fields. This one is a fae story. I'm going to be honest, I am still very intrigued about reading this one, but I wanted to listen to like the audiobook sample, but it was in the middle of the book somewhere. I don't know where it was. I just wish they would give you the first chapter of the book on any of the Audible samples so that you can listen to the whole of the first chapter and make a decision whether or not you want to get the audiobook. It's so fucking annoying. But this one is following, I'm actually not sure what her name is because she's called Flea by her guardian, but so I'm not sure at this point what her name is. Fleana. She is a changeling. For 20 years I've been unwanted changeling. I have no name, no family, no answer. Until an irresistibly wicked fairy brings a seductive game of cat and mouse. I am his prey, his treasure, a perfect pet. He offers a trade. He will take me to the fairy realms to assist in my search for the truth of who I am. In return I must agree to marry him, but things are not as they seem. Soon after arriving at his wintry manor, I begin to unravel a dangerous web of lies. Far deadlier still, I'm fallen in love with a monster who has no heart. So she's a fae changeling, I believe. So yeah. And I didn't finish the chapter of this one, I'm not going to lie, because I immediately realised I wanted to read one of the other ones more so than this. So I do still want to read this one, just not right now. So I can't decide what to read out of these three because I'm very excited about all of them. So I feel like, I don't know. I don't know what to read. I think I'm just really in the mood for like K-drama. You know, like the other book that I'm reading is translated. I've been reading some manga. I don't know, I'm in this vibe. Is that weird? I'm just in this vibe. I think I might read this one. Could this be a mistake? I actually think as well that I could get through this one quite quickly and then maybe move on to one of the other ones and get through one of the other ones as well, maybe. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to go for The God and the Gummy Hoe. And I'm going to see how this goes. So I'll check back in with you and have an update for you. Patron sprints are about to start. I am enjoying this. I'm 60 pages in so far and I'm having a good time. But let's get some sprints on the go. Okay, hey, it's not too much longer. I've not long since started sprints. It's about 11:30. I started sprints at 11 o'clock. I wanted to come on and give you an update. This is so chaotic, and I think it shows actually how off I am with my reading right now, because I am really, really chaotic. I'm in and out of books and I just can't seem to settle. So, I am really enjoying The God and the Gummy Hoe. Let me just preface this with saying that. I'm enjoying this. I'm 60 pages in and I'm having a good time. But after a conversation with my patrons and telling them what happened with the Ever King and that I was trying a chapter of all 4 of those books, and then suddenly realising that, like, maybe this would have been a better option because all 3 of the audiobooks are out already for this series. I'm going to have to wait for the next one in this series because they are series. And suddenly realising how annoying that can be. For example, a book quite similar to this one is The Wicked Fox. Not The Wicked Fox. Wicked Fox by... Was it called Wicked Fox? Yeah. Wicked Fox by Cacho, which I read when it came in a subscription box years ago, which I think was with Fairy Loot. I read it when it came in, loved it. I never read Vicious Spirits, and it was only a duology, and I didn't read it because I had to wait for the sequel. And I'm fucking terrible at this. So I've decided, after having a conversation with my patrons, that I'm actually going to put this down for now. I've read 60 pages, I know I enjoy it, so when it comes to the sequel being released and Fairy Loot hopefully doing a copy of it, I will get it. Because that's another thing as well. Sometimes when I leave series so long and then they do a release of the next one, the sequel, I don't end up getting it because I haven't read the first one and I don't know if I'm going to like it. Or I end up getting it and then I don't like the first one and I'm stuck with trying to get rid of 2 of them, you know? So I know I like it. I know I can get the second one. So that's good news. And we've decided between us, me and my patrons, that what I probably should do when I'm in situations like this, and I should know better to be honest than to have gone into a new series, what I should do is continue something I'm already in the middle of. So continue a series I'm partway through because I'm familiar with the characters, I'm familiar with the world, and I know exactly what I'm getting into, and I know I enjoyed the first one. So we've made the decision between us, me and my patrons, that we're actually going to read a book that's supposed to be on my final book support group TBR for next week. It frees a spot open for that next week. And we're going to go for Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. Now, in all honesty, I read One Dark Window a while ago and I can't fully 100% remember what happened in that book, where we left off or anything. So I'm going to have to read a recap for that before I can go into this one. But we're following our main character who is called Elspeth. And in the first one, like a while ago, there was a disease. This is all from memory and I can't fully remember what happened. So if I get anything wrong, I do apologise. But a while ago, there was a disease. Some people got sick and they ended up being left with magic. So in Elspeth's case, she's stuck with this nightmare in her head that talks to her and on occasion can take over her body. I think it's getting stronger or something. There are also these cards that she's trying to locate now with her cousin, Raven. No, not cousin. A guy. Again, I can't remember. Raven. I can't remember if he's a guy or if that's her cousin. I will find out and let you know. So she's trying to find these cards now and stop a certain set of people getting hold of them because it can cause a lot of problems for the world or something. That's all I can remember off of the top of my head, but I can't remember any specifics. So once I know more, I will come back and let you know what this is about. But so far, that's it. This one says, in the dark, spellbinding sequel to One Dark Window, Elspeth must confront the weight of her actions as she and Raven embark on a perilous journey to save the kingdom. I don't want to read the rest of the synopsis to you because I don't know if it spoils anything or not. So this is a bit chunkier than the rest, but it will get me through a sequel and hopefully I'll enjoy it because I already know the characters in the world. Not that I can remember right now, but I already know the characters in the world. So I'm going to go down, read a recap, and then get started on this. And hopefully finally fucking settle on a book. Fingers crossed that's the case. I will still continue on with the Kamigawa cafe book, the cat cafe thingamajig as well. I'll carry on with that one too. Maybe throw in some manga just to help me settle again. I can feel myself getting riled up because I just can't settle on anything, and it's really annoying me. And it's getting to me, so hopefully this will be the winner for me. We will see, but I'll keep you posted. Hello my loves, it's much later in the day. It's gone 7 o'clock. Andy will be on his way home, but he's nipping to Sainsbury's on the way back. But I have finished 2 Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. My patrons were correct in saying that I needed something where I was already familiar with the world and the characters so that I could get through it a little bit better. I'm very clearly in a very strange mood right now. So this has worked out perfectly. I've given it 4.5 stars. And this has helped me out on multiple occasions. So it's a sequel, and I've read it the week before Final Book Support Group, which means the gap that I had this in for has now opened up for another book. This was also on my Our Fantasy TBR, so success for prologues and epilogues. So I've completed that prompt now as well, which is great news, and I'm really happy about that. So yeah, 4.5 stars for this. I think it was a great conclusion to the series. I really enjoyed it. I never came back to tell you what this was about completely because I just got carried away and couldn't stop reading, so which is fantastic. So this is following Elspeth, and she did contract this illness. Now what happens is when people get this illness, they tend to push them out into this mist, which is where this illness kind of banished them essentially, which is where this illness is coming from, and it is surrounding this kingdom in which they all live, and it seems to be encroaching on them. So Elspeth was hidden away by her father. He took her to her aunt and uncle's house to live there when she contracted the illness so that they wouldn't find out, because her father worked for the king. So he moved her in with her aunt and uncle, which is where she then became best friends with her cousin Ione. And they grew up together. The cards come into play in that they are very, very kind of, essentially, if you touch a card, this is how she ended up with the nightmare. When she was ill, she touched a nightmare card and she ended up with this nightmare stuck in her head. So then she became better, but she got this nightmare then stuck in her head, which slowly but surely is getting stronger and stronger. So you can touch these cards and they can give you all different kinds of powers, things like that. There's like a scythe one that can help you, what was the scythe for again? Oh, it can help you control somebody else. There is like a beauty one, things like that. There's all different kinds of cards. And if they end up managing to get all of these cards together, they will have a lot of power. Now the king is trying to get them for bad, and we end up meeting our love interest of Elspeth, Raven, in the first book. He is a highwayman and he's trying to get Elspeth's card, but they end up in this situation where they end up going on this kind of mission themselves to try and gain all these cards and stop the king from getting them all and taking over. Raven's brother is also sick, his younger brother, so he's trying to get the cards for that reason as well, to help his younger brother. So from that point on, we just continue on. In here, in this one, we get to know Ione and Elm a little bit more as well, which is really nice because I enjoyed their POVs as well and the romance blossoming between those two. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. We didn't get too much of Elspeth because the nightmare had pretty much completely taken over. He only let her out every now and then, and we would get her POV of her inside her head, but not in control, if you like. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. The atmosphere of these books, so good. I will definitely read books from Rachel Gillig again in the future. So really had a good time with that. And I think what I'm going to move on to, this vlog will probably go till the end of the weekend. So essentially it has been a week-long vlog. I'm not just going to do it for these 72 hours, including tomorrow. I'm going to go till the end of the weekend because there's a chance Andy could end up working overtime on Sunday. Whether or not he decides to do it, I don't know, but there is a chance he could do so. So I might end up getting some more reading in then. But I also really want to finish the Kamigawa cafe book, and there is always opportunities for me to read in the evenings as well once he's gone to sleep. So and if he goes on the PlayStation this weekend as well. So we'll see what happens with that. But I think my next read that I really want to pick up is Crucible of Chaos. I know this seems very out of left field, but it was in that stack of books that I was interested in reading at the beginning of this video. This is by Sebastian D. Castell, and it's the first one in the Court of Shadows series. It's the prelude for Court of Shadows. I really want to read Play of Shadows, and Cece's put it on my 12 books from 12 friends, but I can't read it till I've read this one. So I need to read this first. This one is a mortally wounded magistrate faces his deadliest trial inside an ancient abbey where the monks are going mad and the gods themselves may be to blame. Investigate alongside Estivar, who is our main character, and he's one of the legendary sword-fighting magistrates known as the Great Coats and the king's personal investigators of the supernatural. He's no stranger to tales of ghosts and demons. But we investigate with him and the most heroic mule ever to appear in print in this thrilling swashbuckling fantasy mystery by Seb de Castell, author of the internationally acclaimed Greatcoats and Spellslinger series. I've read all the Greatcoat series, so this is set in the same world as the Greatcoats. I don't know how many years after the end of the Greatcoats is set, or if it's set during the same time, I'm not sure. But I'm very excited to get into this, and I think on the basis, despite my mood, I was really worried about going into this because of my mood, but despite my mood, I actually think this is a good shout, because although it is a new set of characters for me, I know the world very, very well, and I am very on top of the world building within this world. I know it incredibly well, so I think this will be a great shout. This is also on my Our Fantasy TBR, so it will knock it off that, and it will mean that I'll be able to get to Play of Shadows for my 12 books from 12 friends. So at the moment this is holding me up for that, because Cece's put it on my 12 books from 12 friends. So yeah, I'm looking forward to giving this one a read. Also, I've wanted to read this one since it came in, so which it's been on my shelves for a while now, and I have 2 copies of, and I've still not read it yet. So, oh, this one's signed as well, 2023. So yeah, I do want to get to this one. This one is from Inkstone Press, so it's got the fancy cover on, and then I also have the broken binding edition with the sprayed edges as well. So yeah, I'm gonna get into this. I just wanted to come on, let you know my thoughts, full thoughts on Two Twisted Crowns, and let you know what I'm picking up next. Hello, it's 11:30 on Friday. I've had a little bit of a slower start to the morning this morning compared to the last couple of days, well, especially Wednesday. I got up with Andy this morning at 5:20ish. I was just going to try and go back to sleep, to be honest, when he came in to say bye, but I ended up getting up with him because I tried to go back to sleep for a couple of minutes, then I was desperate for a wee, so I just got up and waited until he went to work, left the house and went to work for about 20 to 6. So I got a couple of minutes, well, like 20 minutes with him this morning, and then I went and got back in bed, and then I really struggled to get out of bed, to be perfectly honest. So it was like 9 o'clock, I think, before I finally got out of bed, which is much later than the last couple of days. And then I've had a bit of a slow start to the morning, so I have now, just now, filmed Sunday's video, which is my best books of 2024 so far, and then I've ended up filming a video that's going to come out later on in August as well. I want to try and start pre-filming my sit-down videos, and that is one that I can definitely pre-film now, so I've done it. It's usually one that takes... It doesn't take me too long to edit, but it takes a lot of work to edit because of the type of video it is. So I've just pre-filmed that, so that one is done now, and I now need to edit the best books of 2024 so far so that that video can go up on Sunday. I do want to start editing this vlog because I know it's going to be really fucking messy and I'm going to have to work some shit out. So I do want to start editing this, I think. But I came on to let you know that last night I finished the Kamigawa Food Detectives by Hisashi Kashiwai. I really enjoyed this. This was really good. It got 4.5 stars. Again, we haven't quite hit a 5-star read yet. It got 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. For each chapter that we have, we're following this father-daughter duo called Nagari and Koshi. Father-daughter duo who run this restaurant, and basically they run it in such a way that you can come in with a memory, if you like, of, let's say, grandma's spaghetti bolognese as an example, and you can say to them, this is what it used to taste like, these are the memories it used to give me, things like that, and Nagari will make it and it will taste exactly like grandma's bolognese. and it will bring back all of these memories, and for each chapter we're following a different character with a different story to tell and a different meal, and it's really, really sweet. I did find that it was getting a little bit repetitive because it's obviously the same thing over and over again, just a different story each time, but there were some of the stories that would hit harder than some others, and it was just really, really sweet. And I am very much so looking forward to getting into the Restaurant of Lost Recipes now that I've read this one. So I'm really glad I invested in this one and gave it a read so that I can get to that other one before it comes out on the 3rd of October. So if you enjoy Before the Coffee Gets Cold, you might like this one. I have seen that it is compared to, like, if you enjoy Before the Coffee Gets Cold, you'll enjoy this. So 4.5 stars for this one. That's another book finished, which is fantastic news. And then last night I did start Crucible of Chaos by Sebastian D. Castell. I didn't get too far in before Andy got home, but I got 49 pages, and so far I'm enjoying this one. We have followed Estevar so far on his journey to where he's going, where these problems are at the moment. He's got his mule, who's called Imperus, and he talks to his mule quite a lot. He's been warned not to go to this place essentially, and he's like, nah mate, I'm definitely going. So he goes. He ends up in a little bit of bother trying to get there, but it would appear that there is some strange goings on at this place. So he's arrived at the ancient abbey, and I think it's all going to go awry onwards. So far we haven't met a monk that's gone mad yet, but I've no doubt we are going to find one. So intrigued by this one, and my intention is to try and finish this today. I think I don't know where I'm going to find the time to do that, but because I've got this editing to do, but we'll see. So yeah, that is my plan. Andy, for now, is not working on Sunday. He's not needed. So I will be with him for the weekend, but maybe I'll be able to film some bits of whatever it is that we get done. And yeah, that is my plan. So I'm going to go and get this editing done, and I'll check back in with you and have another update for you.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high. Trust.
Hello team, well, it's Monday morning actually. I haven't spoken to you at all over the weekend, it was so busy. We went out on Saturday to go and see Andy's sister and niece, and we did a little bit of shopping. We needed to get a quilt and some pillows for the new bed that's coming on Wednesday this week. So we did that. We did try to find some quilt covers as well, but we couldn't see any we liked, so we've ordered some offline and they'll be coming over the next couple of days. And then on, what did we do the rest of Saturday? I think we just chilled Saturday evening. And then on yesterday, Sunday, Andy's stepdad and stepbrother came round to help us take the TV off the wall downstairs and put his TV on the wall with a new bracket. And it took the longest time. It took so long and I was really anxious all day about it. So it wasn't that I didn't have faith in them, it's just that I struggled to understand how such a small bracket can hold such a big TV. So yeah, it's the device itself I don't have the faith in. And then this morning I've gotten up with Andy. He got up at 5, he woke me up at 5, coming getting a belt from the bedroom, and I got up with him. I spent a bit of time with him till he left at about 5:45 to go to work. And then I've been sat here ever since working. I did just nip to the shop to go and get some bread so I can make some toast. I was Hank Marvin. I've eaten a cereal bar about 6:30 this morning, but I'm hungry again. It's now 5 to 9. So I have managed to edit a whole video this morning, which was my August TBR, which will be coming up this Sunday, and I've just finished off another book. So I'm here to wrap this vlog up so that I can wrap this vlog up and finish editing it, get it uploaded in the first sprint. I think I've got Patreon sprints this morning and then Final Book Support Group sprints this afternoon. So I'm here to wrap everything up that I read in this vlog. This was a very messy, very chaotic vlog. It's very clear that I am currently in a bit of a struggle situation at the moment with my reading. I don't know if I'm coming or going. I don't really know what I want to be reading, and I'm struggling a little bit with it. So this doesn't bode well for Final Book Support Group coming up this week, but we'll have to see what happens. So let's run through what I did read this week. I did not read this week, but I did read it during the time period in which I wasn't vlogging, so I wanted to tell you about it. It's Your Letter, which is a new manga that will now be out. It will be, for me, coming out tomorrow. For you guys, it came out yesterday, 23rd of July. So it will now be available, and I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was very good. Then I did DNF The Ever King by LJ Andrews. I'm still pissed about this, I'm not gonna lie. I was halfway through, so I was on page 198, and I'm still mad about it. You'll have seen my rant already. Then I did read Two Twisted Crowns, and I gave this 4.5 stars and wrapped this series up. It was good, I enjoyed it, had a good time. Then another one that comes out tomorrow for you, for me, for you guys, it came out yesterday, 23rd of July, and it is Aria of the Beach Forest, which again I gave 4.5 stars. Very, very good, very, very sweet, and I cannot wait to get volume 2 when that eventually comes out. Then I did read the Kamigawa Food Detectives by Hisashi Kashiwai. I gave this one 4 stars. This was really, really sweet and I really enjoyed it. Very excited to get on to the second one. Little bit repetitive, but overall really enjoyed it. 4 stars. And I have just now finished Mixed Signals by BK Borison, which I am giving 3.5 stars to. This has been my least favourite in the series so far. Love Light Farms got 5 stars, then In the Weeds got 4.5, and now this one has gotten 3.5. It's not boding well for business casual, but I'm hoping that the autumnal vibes, the atmosphere and everything will just give me everything I want. We'll have to see. But this was good. It's following Caleb and Layla, who we've seen in the previous books. Caleb is a teacher in town. Layla works in a bakery in town, and she's an incredible baker. And they've both kind of given up on love a little bit, and they end up having a conversation one day where she's saying she's given up on love. She keeps dating these really shitty guys, and he's like, well, women keep telling me that I'm too nice and I'm just wondering where I'm going wrong. And they come up with this agreement that they'll date for a month and then help each other out with where they're going wrong, give them tips and tricks and stuff. So they agree to that, and obviously the relationship builds from there and they end up having real feelings for each other. This was really sweet. It was very, very cute. I did enjoy Layla and Caleb as a whole in general. I think I can't decide if it's the audiobook for me that was giving me the ick a little bit. It just made the sex scenes seem a little bit cringy, and I don't know if it was the narrators or if it was the actual book, I'm not sure, but I just partially got the ick a little bit with this. And then towards the end as well, when it was all kind of unraveling, you know, the month came to an end and then they were struggling to communicate how they felt about each other and where they should go from here. Communication, as always, is usually the problem for me. I just hate it when there's struggles. I just hate it when there's miscommunication in books. So anyway, overall, reasonably good book. I did recently just get, they're sitting there actually on my thriller shelves. I did just recently get the Afterlight editions of these. Very, very pretty indeed. So I'm glad that I invested in those because they're stunning. But yeah, 3.5 stars for this one. And then I did start, but not finish, Crucible of Chaos by Sebastian de Castell. I am 88 pages into this one. I do want to continue on with it. I do think, which is a struggle because I've just put, spoiler alert for my TBR coming up later on this week, I've just put Play of Shadows on my August TBR. But hopefully, maybe I'll finish this week during Final Book Support Group, which is hilarious because this starts a new series. Or maybe I'll finish it the following week. I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping to finish it though soon. But I do think my mood is coming into play a little bit and I just don't seem to be into it as much as I hoped I would be. And I think it could be me that's the problem, not the book. So there is a possibility that maybe I'll put it down and I won't get to Play of Shadows for August's TBR. Maybe I will have to delay those until my mood is a little bit better. And I am fully 100% invested and in the mood for a epic fantasy. So we'll see. But yeah, I did start this one as well. I am enjoying it. I just don't find myself wanting to pick it straight back up again once I've put it down. So, which I'm 100% convinced is a me problem, not the book's fault, because as we've seen, I am very much so in a strange mood and things are not quite right with me at the moment. It is what it is. So yeah, I am gonna go. I hope you have enjoyed this video despite how fucking chaotic it has been. I do apologise. I'm not sure what it is that's going on with me at the moment. Like, I don't feel like my mood is low necessarily. I think I've just got so much going on with, it's been so busy with the move, with Andy and everything moving in, and we're still not 100% kind of, I feel like we're not 100% in yet because my bed is a double bed and the mattress on it is absolutely fucked. I don't think I've ever changed it since I got that bed, and I was about 20 when I got that bed, so it's like 14 years old. I don't think I've ever changed the mattress, so it's absolutely fucked. It's a pocket sprung one and it's knackered, and it's not big enough. It's a double bed. It's not big enough for the two of us side by side, so he's been sleeping on the couch since he moved in, which in of itself is fucking awful. I hate it. I hate that we're not, you know, sharing the bed and he's not he's not comfortable 100% in his own home yet. So I hate that. But the new bed comes on Wednesday, so I'm hoping that will change things a little bit. And I think I'm just, as well, I am having to adapt how, it might not seem like a big deal to some people, but for me this is a really big deal. I've lived on my own for 9 years. The last person I lived with was my brother and his now wife, and she only lived with us for about 9 months to 12 months, so for around maybe a year. But obviously me and my brother moved out of my parents together, so I've lived from the age of well, 21 months old through till being 9 years ago. How old would I have been 9 years ago? 25-ish. I've lived with my brother, and then I've lived on my own now for the last 9 years, and it's strange sharing my space with someone again. Not only that, but sharing my space with a partner as well. Like, you know, it can make things a little bit complicated sometimes. We're trying to do little bits as well. I'm like, obviously we're trying to adapt the house a little bit to him because it's been my home for the last 13 years and I want to make it our home now. So we're adapting things a little bit. There's still so much that needs to be done. That box room still hasn't been done for his games room. Obviously the bed's coming. So there's still so much to do. And I think also my routine was disrupted. So I had like a set routine where I would do certain things. My routine's been completely disrupted now, which is not only affecting my work with YouTube and things, it's also affecting my work with my dad's company, my part-time job. It's affecting how me and Andy work as well. Like, we had a routine, the pair of us, and now it's being disrupted a little bit with these changes, with him moving in and things just being a little bit different. So we need to get into a new routine, which will take some time. And I think for the time being, it's just messing with my head a little bit. I don't know, again, if this, like, obviously I still haven't got a therapist yet or spoken to a medical professional about my ADHD, so I don't understand fully how this will be affecting me mentally, but it clearly is, because I'm all over the place. I'm a little bit of a mess right now, and I seem to be needing more easier reads as opposed to something a little bit more complicated at the moment, albeit we do know that since around the beginning of the year I have been back in a high epic fantasy slump again. So yeah, I'm just feeling a bit disrupted and it's causing me some issues. I think as well, it's like a vicious cycle. Because I'm feeling disrupted, I am allowing it to disrupt me even more. It's a little bit like if I get out of bed later than 10:30 in the morning, I then allow that to, sometimes I then allow that to ruin my entire day, because I go, well, half the day's gone now, so there's no point in doing anything with my day. And it's a little bit like that. So yeah, the fact that it's disrupting me, I'm allowing it to disrupt me even more, and I need to kind of get out of that a little bit. I think I just need to give myself some grace and be a bit more patient with myself, and it will come together. I've just got to be a bit patient, you know. If my vlogs are a little bit messy in the meantime, maybe I just need to be mood reading for the time being. Maybe I shouldn't be doing dedicated themed vlogs at the moment. Maybe I should just be doing messy weekly vlogs. See how that goes for a while. We'll see, but I hope this video hasn't been too chaotic, especially at the beginning with me saying I'm going to start off with mixed signals, go on to business casual. FYI, I will try and read that for final book support group this coming week, so I haven't left it too long, to then picking up Ever King and being very excited about it, to being disappointed, and then messily deciding what to pick up again. It was a whole thing, and I apologise if that was very messy and frustrating for y'all, but I hope you've enjoyed the rest of the vlog regardless, and I hope that you've had a wonderful week, and I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye for now.